And this kind of simple clean website, this is a kind of simple mini blog that you can design today in HTML and CSS, simple enough, and you will learn a lot of things like how to design these kind of simple designs. So let's begin. I have like this kind of logo and a kind of navigation bar that's very simple, and then some blocks where there is some text, images, and a button that is like read the full story, and some sharing icons, and it is repeated like 3 times. It has a border at the bottom, kind of dotted one, and then there is a button to like load more of such things, and then there is a kind of clean footer. So let's start making it. It's simple, and if you can make something like this, then you can make few more great things. And so I'm on my desktop, and I have created this folder is like this one, and inside this I have the HTML file and this CSS file, which is inside the CSS folder. And also there is my font awesome as well, which I'll be using for the icons, and here is the images folder. So let's just start making it. I will open the code editor. Here is my HTML file and the CSS file. On the HTML file, you have to create this like command N or control N, or go to file and then create a new file. I'm using this VS Code. So all I have to do is press shift exclamation mark or 1, and the bare bones will show up when I press the enter or tab. Now instead of this documents, I can write like mini blog. So I have to link the CSS files, so I have to put this link. And where are my CSS files? They are inside the CSS folder, and the name of that thing is style.css. Simple enough. Now I need to link that font awesome file as well, because I want to use those icons. So they are inside the CSS folder. Inside that there is, if it is not giving you suggestions, then you have to do this thing. I'll just cut this. I don't know what is this, Fab 25. Okay, no problem. Now I will open the folder, so things are easy for me. I do not have to like go mini web. No, I think this is my blog. This is the folder that I'm working on. And now inside this I will open the HTML file, and inside CSS folder again. Okay, now the HTML file is opened. Now if I press, where is this CSS file, this font awesome file? If I press CSS, then there is I think this is then this is, then this. Yes, this is the link for the font awesome, and it's inside my CSS folder. There is no magic happening. It's like it's there, so it's giving me that link. And I am going to create that header first and giving it a class of header only to make things easy. And inside this, first of all, I need a logo. So I will be using h1 and give it an ID of logo. Inside this, I need to use an image. I could give the like this ID to the image as well, but I mean you can do it this way as well. So inside the img folder there is one file, logo, and I'm going to use that and give it an alt name of logo. And now the logo is kind of done. Now we need to create that navigation bar. So nav, and give it a class of links, maybe that makes sense. And inside them we need to create some a links, a dot n l i n k s, n links. No, not like that. A dot n l i n. I am creating a tags, and I am giving them n links. That is the class. Simple enough. Href is where should it go, like something.com, facebook.com, google.com, something like that. We since we are not taking it anywhere, so this hash mark says that go nowhere. Okay, and if someone clicks on this and then I put target blank, then it will be opened in like inside another tab. Okay, I'm kind of, don't worry. So first thing, I have this home. Then what is the thing? If I open the blog now, home, about, tutorials, that's kind of strange blog. Home, about, tutorials. I think then there is this thing called hacks. What is the other thing? Why this is coming in the view again and again? Hacks and contact. I have to duplicate this with you have to press shift alt or shift option and down arrow, and it will be duplicated. contact. If you are in Sublime, then I think it's Command D or Control D. Okay, now this is done. Now I can start styling this header. So first of all, I need the fonts for this thing. I have like this kind of clean, nice looking fonts. So I have to pick those fonts, and I have picked them from Google Fonts. You go to Google Fonts and look for the fonts that you like, and then you click on this thing, this plus icon, and they will be gathered. And now I'm importing these fonts to my CSS file, so I'm going to click on the import. Just copy this link, just this link, not the styles. And if I come back to here, and inside my CSS file, I have to put this line at the top. Now this font is imported. All I have to do is, like, first of all, inside your CSS file, do this thing as well. Remove all the padding and the margin that's given by the browser, because that make your website behave very strangely. Now that is removed. Now we need to create the canvas where after our website will do everything. That is body, and we do not have to give any kind of class or ID to the body. CSS understands that. So what does it need? It needs width and height. How much? Width should be 100%. So VW means view width. That's the same thing. And its height, it should itself decide, like automatic. It will take care of it, like how big the website is going to be. That is kind of done. Now we need to style that header that we just created, and we want to give it some width. How much? We do not want to give it that long width, so 80%, that makes sense. And height, yes, we can give it height, or maybe keep it auto, because there is not much content here. How about 200 pixels? Yeah, I think it may be very large. And then one more thing, that is margin. 0% at top, or maybe 1% at top, because we want to, like, keep it 1% away from the top of the screen and bottom. And auto on left and right, what does that mean? That means place the things in the center automatically. That's the meaning of this thing. Okay, I think this is done. Now if I load this again, where is my, I should open this. Okay, I should open this, and there's a logo, there are links, but this is looking not so nice. I will just style this in front of you. Header, if I give it display of flex, and justify content, space between. Now you look, what have I given it? Something strange. They are links, and they are happening inside the header. Header, Header. Then why it is not taking this thing? There is something wrong. Margin 0 auto. Have I linked the same file? If I save it, come back here, and is it, no, I have not linked the right file. This is the right file. Now if I do it, you see those things are displayed like that. Now this logo, I don't like this. I mean, it's looking kind of very large. So instead of giving it a width over here, I will go to HTML file, and where is this image? So here I can give it some width of maybe 50 pixels. If I come back now, it will be reduced, but that is very small. How about 90 or 80? Still very small. I should not give it width, I should give it height, maybe. Yeah, anything works. Actually, height, how about 90 pixels? Or it may be very large. No, the image was okay, I think. How about 120? That's kind of okay. Or maybe, why I'm even doing this? I think this image was looking fine. Now it's okay. Now we need to style this links, and they have a class of n links. First of all, I will remove the underline from those links. So how do we do that? That is text decoration. That should be none. Now that underline will be gone. They are touching each other, so we want to remove that. So what we have to do, we have to give some padding. How maybe 30 pixels, or I could increase or decrease it. That's kind of okay. It's doesn't open things so nicely. Oh, why does, sorry, like this screen is behaving very badly. Okay, padding 30 pixel is working fine, or maybe 40 pixels, and we want to change the color as well. Those links should have a color of, I have this color over here. I will just go back to my desktop, and I really want to copy that color. I will just open this with the, so I have these two colors. I will just copy this whole thing, do not worry, and I will just post it here and comment this. Now this text need a kind of green color, so color should be like this. I have given a kind of green color to this. Why is this star happening here? And upon the hover, that is NLINKS, when we hover our mouse over them, then they should have this color. Color should be this. Now I can remove this thing. So since I have already copied the, oh my god, this is not behaving so good. Okay, we don't like the font, we want to change the font as well. I have imported the font, so I am going to give this K-bit or Gochi hand. How about, let's try this one, and they are sans serif fonts. And inside the header, if I paste this thing, and in front of this sans serifs, I made, this is surely irritating, and this too. Okay, now here the font is kind of changed. We want to change the font size as well. Oh my, this is why this is irritating. Font size maybe 1.2 ems or maybe 1.4 ems. You could write 16 pixels, 14 pixels, 18 pixels. Things will work. I think this is okay. Now the things are not like this logo, and the text is not like in the center, so we have to use align items in the center, and this is the property of flexbox because we have made it flex. And do we like the height of this? This is kind of very large. How about making it 120? This is working fine. Maybe I can give a margin at top of around 2%. That will throw it further down. It's looking fine. Now we need to create the main section and all those things inside the main. Header is done. We have done the header. Now we need to create the main and give it a class of main to keep things simple. So inside the header, we need to create those sections. If I come back to my website here, and you see it has a title, some text, then image. So it needs two things, that is left text, so that is like details, details, details. I'm creating in dev. I could create a section also, section, and let's give it a class of details, details, no problem. And inside those details I need an h2 tag. It could be s3 tagger as well, so h2 tag, and what should it be, and r to pix, yeah, it could be anything. And then we need the p tag, and inside this I'll post lorem ipsum of around 120. I mean, if you have installed these extensions from here, click on this and type HTML here, and it will suggest you all the things. It will, you can type for that thing also, that, what do you call that, lorem ipsum also. You do not have to copy this from internet. Now what we need another section, that is share, or it could be a div as such, are share. And inside this I need two things. So what are they? They are, first thing is a button, and should we give it a class? Yeah, why not give it click, click, yeah. And read more, yeah, that's making sense. And underneath this I need those social sharing icons, so that needs another section. I know I'm creating a lot of sections, but that is how you style things. When you use flexbox, it will be easy for you to align them here and there. instead of just looking for kind of things to style them at that time. So it's happening now. Okay, now this is social icons. Socials icons, yeah, that's making sense. Inside this I need to create those I tags, and let's create that class. It should be fab phone awesome brands far dash Instagram maybe, yeah, and then maybe this QU or a Cura, then maybe Facebook, and then Twitter's use. I will use this MEDIU medium. What else? Maybe this WhatsApp. I think this is okay. Now this thing is done. Now we need to create one more thing, and that thing should be still inside this section. First is the section of details, and inside this, why I'm confusing it, first we have details, and then we have, I will just come out of this, and I will need to create one more section. I will do that, no problem. So that is, just create the img and give it a class of maybe the main image, main, no, bg, that's okay. Okay, inside img folder I have some images, so I'll be using this first. So img image, that's making sense. But now we need to put these things, these left section and this image, inside one folder. So let's call that and I div of post. Yeah, I mean this is one of a post, so everything should go inside this. I mean this might be a bit confusing, but this is how you have to do this. I mean for the purpose of, okay, I will just when I style this. So where is everything happening? This is one part. This post, this div has two things. And now if I go here, dot post post, and display it as flex, and justify content, justify content, space around maybe, or space between. And if I come back now, you see these are aligned, but why are they running like here and there? So I can give some width. I could use css grid also, like give one part here and one part there, and maybe we should try that here, no problem. I will just disable this, and display grid, and I need to give grid column, grid template columns, and first section how much it should be, maybe 1 fr, and second should be 2 fr, I mean two parts, and this should be divided into like this. Now the image will take a larger part, but that is kind of not looking good. I think the image is very large. I can maybe make this image a bit smaller. Width, yeah, how about 400 pixels or 500 pixels? That's way smaller. How about 700 pixels? Maybe 600 pixels. That's okay. Now I know this is not looking fine. I can just come back here, and this post has it details. So details can have a width, and how about like 20% of the website, 24%. Yeah, we can try that. 24%, will that make sense? I think that has not made any sense. 24 VW. Maybe this is not working. How about this? img has a class of has it got any class? Yes, bg dot bg, and it should have a width of, how about move the, it's 50 or 40 BW. Is that working? That thing is not working. And today I'm not doing good. I'm not happy with the way I'm like making this simple blog, but I'm just not doing it nicely. That's bad. So one is okay. Now they should have a gap, column gap. How about 6%? They should not touch each other. They are kind of thrown away. Now this thing, this main, have I styled it? Not yet. So that is the problem. This main, yes, it should have a width. How much? 80%, just like the header. 80 VW, that will work. And it should have a height that should be automatic because it should decide itself. Now we need to give that thing margin, yes. How about 2% at the top and then auto? That will place thing in the center. It's kind of coming to the center and it needs surely a large margin at the top. 6%, that will throw it down further. I think this what is this thing happening? This thing, either I can increase the gap. If I had done this, like if I column gap, if I comment this or disable this and enable this, and instead of space around, space between will throw these things to the extreme edges like this, but we do not like this, so we have to give some width to the this one. What is the name of this thing? Details, details. And let's give it a width of, how about 300 pixels? Am I doing it right? DET, I have done it wrong all the way. I think that was the reason this website was not working fine, because I had given a different name. That's kind of, how about 360 or maybe 400 should make sense. I mean, you have to try all those things, whatever works. I think it's making sense now, but the text is not looking fine. First of all, we have to give the font family, and the font that I'm going to use is from the Google Fonts. I have selected this font. I'll be using this Gotchi hand, and this is again a sans serif font, and I'll be using this inside the main. Everything inside the main should use this font, and it should be sans serif. That should make sense. And if I come back to the blog now, font is changed. Maybe you don't like it, you can change it, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just giving it here. And now this thing has it got a title? This thing has got h2, nothing but inside details, whatever is an h2 inside details, whatever is an h2 should have a margin at the bottom of around 4%. Sorry, maybe more. How about 6%? And same way, this whatever is a p, so dot deta details, and whatever is a p should have a, what I'm doing, why I'm adding this, yes, should it work? Or maybe I will, that also got, now we need to style that button. So button has got a class. I think it has got a class of click. Where is this thing happening? Have I opened the right thing? Where is this thing gone? Button, yes, click dot click. I could write like whatever is a button inside details, and now it should have a width of around 140 pixels and a height of around 32 pixels. It should have a padding also of around 4 pixels and a border radius of around 4 pixels or 2 pixels. And what else? We want to give it some border? Yes, border 1 pixel solid. How about this green color that we just used? That should make sense. Okay, and solid, this is the color of the border, and we have to give some color to the font as well. So I will just copy this this whole line again. That will make the color of the font inside like this. Now upon the hover, and it also needs some margin at the top. Margin at top, how much? About 6%. And also the container of this button and this social things, that is a share, that too needs to be displayed as flex, but I will take care of that in a moment, very quickly. If I come back to the website now that we have just done, the button is looking like something, but we need to remove its background. Background should be none. We don't like that kind of grayish background. Now it's looking fine. Maybe we can increase the font size. How about 1.2 m's? It will be large maybe. Yeah, it is large. How about just 1 m? And do we want to change the font also? I mean, I don't like this font that is happening inside this. Maybe I could put this font or this one. Where is that other font which is okay? I will use this font inside the button. This should be the font. If I come back now, yes, the font is changed. Maybe it could be 1.2, 1.1 m. That's kind of working. Now this button needs margin at the bottom also, because this is no, it doesn't need, because we will be displaying those things to the right side. So the container of this button and the social icons is share. So share dot shtr, share. If I display it as flex, I mean, flex is your friend, you have to use it so many times. And then the same thing, that is justify content, space between, and but it is not aligning in the center, so you have to use align, align items in the center. Will that work? It's not working. There should be some problem. That's the reason it's not working, and I will take care of this. Just a moment. I have given this some margin at the top, and if I remove this margin, will they be displayed? Yes, I think they are displaying now. Now I need to give that margin to the whole body, the container of these two things. Margin at the top of around 4%. If I come back now, maybe it was very small, so it doesn't make any difference. How about 6% or 8%? So we can see some change. It is not even happening. Now I saw that thing happening. We need to space out those things. So where are they happening? These icons are inside social icons. SOCIALICON, social icons, and they are the type. What do they need? They need some space, so padding, maybe from the padding to left. How about 20 pixels? Will they be thrown away? Yes, they are thrown to the right, but this one was not thrown. That's a good thing. Is that okay? I think it's okay. And we need to give that border at the bottom, so that should be given to the whole parent, and that parent is post. Yes, so have I accessed this post already? I think no. Maybe pust post, and it needs a border at the bottom of one, maybe 2 pixel, dotted, uh, dotted. And what should be the color? I'll be using this kind of whatever is that yellowish color. I should be doing this inside here only. And if I come back now, this will be touching it, so we need to give some padding as well. Padding at the bottom, padding at the bottom of around 2% or maybe 4%, but let's try 2%. It's making sense. Now when I hover on this button, its color should change. So this is, click is the button, on hover, its background color should be, have I got access to that, this yellow. And I think I want to make it green maybe, so I'll just put hash mark, and it is suggesting me the color. Now the color of the things should be this yellowish color. And let me see if this makes things easy or not. I think it is getting some border. No, it's okay, I think. Do we want to increase its height? I think its height is, maybe I can increase it a bit, maybe 34 pixels or 36. That's looking fine. Now all we have to do is like, if I duplicate this like 1 2 3, the blog will be ready, but they will be touching each other. So what is that? This post whole container at every place should have a margin at the bottom of around 6%, and now they will not be touching each other. Now I can change the images that I'm using, and I think here the image name is 25A. Why I'm unable to upload all, where are they gone? Okay, first thing is here, it's where is this image? A, then I will make it B here, and C here. I have these images inside my folder, so no problem. If I refresh, you can see the things, they are kind of happening now. This thing is done. Now all we need to do is create the footer. So I create the footer and give it a class of footer again, no problem. And inside the footer I need those icons, so I can create maybe a kind of social icons. I can just can I use them again? Why not? Maybe I can just copy it from here. I mean, let's try if that thing will work or not. If I refresh it now, you can see they are already like laid out. They have got this thing, but I will make it further pretty. That's like footer. I'm accessing the class, and it needs width. How much? We are going to keep it 100%. No, not 1000%, but 100%. Does it need height? Yes, we are going to give it a kind of 200 pixels, kind of bigger one. We need margin at the top, which this thing should not touch the things at the top. How about 8%? 8%, and it needs something else, a background, and we are going to use that kind of greenish background, and the color of things inside this should be that that yellowish, or it could be white also. It's looking fine, but things are not in the center. So inside footer, whatever is an I, let's try that text align in the center, text line to the center. Let's see if that work or not. That didn't work, so I have to access the class. That's okay. How about social icons? Let's try that. I think that's making sense, but that's not changing the things at the top, so that's fine. And they need let's try this line height, because we want to put things in the center. I could use flexbox also. How about 200 pixels, because that is the height of the parent. That's working. Now they need spacing. If I try padding here, will that work? That will work on the whole parent, and it will not work on individuals. So we cannot do it here. How we have to do it? Inside footer and inside social icons, whatever is an I, that needs padding of 40 pixels. They are spaced out. We want to change them upon hover. We want to change their color, so no problem. If I do it like this, so we are hover and color, let's try white. Will that work? Yes, that is happening. Now the website is done. It's simple, very simple. I mean, there is nothing tough. You can just create this blog or this website in, I mean, in just under half an hour, and you have a thing ready that you can actually accomplish. So if you have any question, do ask me. And now I think we need to create that button also, that load more button. So we have to go inside the main, still inside the main, and we are going to create a button and going to give it a class of load and load more. Now all we have to do is go inside this css file. I already have styled these buttons, so I will just copy. There is no problem in copying, and give it LOD load class. It needs a larger width, maybe 160 pixels, and 36 pixels maybe. Color and everything is fine. And I think instead of, it needs this background. Yes, it needs backgrounds instead of the border. So I'll just copy it from here, and the background should be this. I think border should be removed now. If I remove this now and I come back, that button is not looking good at all, because the color of things inside this is the same color as the button is. So I'll try to access it again. Yeah, it is suggesting me I can. Now I have to remove the border. That grayish border is looking very bad. Fine, I mean, it's looking okay. And this margin, has it got any margin at the padding? It has not got any margin or padding. Fine, it's looking okay. Now one thing, these where are they post margin at the bottom should not be this much. How about 4%? um Now it's looking okay. Or I could just give this margin to this particular element. So post nth child, that is third, should have margin at the bottom of around 1%. That should be touching it. uh, that's not quite happening. Margin at the bottom, how about 10%? why is that why is that not happening? Nth child in the post, in the main, I think that is the container. You see that's happening now. Maybe we do not want this much. How about 2%? Because we want to keep it like this. So I can now give it more as well. If I give it 8%, they have the space, but here space is less. I mean, this is one more thing that you can try on. So hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, do ask me, and consider supporting also. I was a bit not at my best while making this video. I'm sorry for that. I have fumbled a lot, sorry. But still, you can do this, okay? It's kind of easy. It's not tough thing happening. I make a lot of tutorials. You can watch them, and you can really brush up your skills. Thank you guys. Have a great day.